As much science fiction there is in video games these days, it's rare to come across something original. It's even more rare to find an original science fiction concept that's executed well, in a way that only video games could portray. Released by Polish developer 11-Bit Studios, The Alters is a combination of a resource-gathering exploration game and a social sim-based management game peppered with ethical dilemmas and beer pong. These are the same developers that made This War of Mine, and you can pick up on the game's DNA pretty early on. However, they've expanded its formula greatly to lean more into narrative, creating a game that's able to go to a lot of places other games haven't. It's a story about being forced into playing with God's toolbox for your own survival. You'll be tasked with making a lot of tough decisions, which will be judged by your harshest critic, yourself. Well, alternative versions of yourself. You know, alternative versions of yourself that are created using a quantum computer and morally ambiguous cutting-edge science that you barely understand, so that you can replace your dead crewmates and force your alters to help you operate and pilot this awesome bike wheel-shaped base while gathering resources to help you get back to Earth in one piece. I know that's a lot, but we're going to take it one step at a time. Like every game I've ever made a video about, the less you know going into the alters, the better. But if that didn't scare you off, my name is Kyrus, and I'm here to explain to you why The Alters is worth your time, even if a lot of the marketing for this game makes it look like a Korean dating show. The game starts with you crash landing on a mysterious planet. You're unable to contact anyone. Looking around, it's apparent that you are the only survivor. In the distance, you can see a giant bicycle tire. This is your crew's really awesome mobile base, and you make your way over as a giant wave of radiation passes over your position. Sadly, there's no one inside the base, but you contact one of your mission's handlers.
Mayday! Mayday, anyone?
I can hear you, Captain Machine.
I'm here, but I'm not the captain. I'm just a builder. Yondolski, corporate ID 4672B. Hello? Can you get me out of here?
You're in imminent danger. Short time remaining to sunrise. Activity rising. 4 days remaining. Be lethal proximity. Instructions in the logs.
Lethal proximity of what?
You'll learn that the sun on this planet is going to set on your position in a few days, and when it does, it's going to destroy everything. So you need to get this base moving. You run outside and start gathering resources. You can pick up small deposits of resources like metals and minerals laying around the surface, but the huge payloads are in deep deposits underground. You'll have to set up a mining outpost and connect it to your ship so you can suck the materials you need out of the ground. While you're exploring the planet's surface, you find this strange, shiny material that catches Jan's eye.
Could this be rubidium? I feel strange. I have to get closer. Make sure. I need to collect a sample.
When your employer hears about this, you can pick up on how excited they are, even though you can barely understand them.
I think I found rubidium.
You sure about it?
What? I'm sure. Yeah, I mean, what else could it be?
Test it.
He asks you to craft a room called the Womb, using some of the materials you've already gathered. He wants you to use the rubidium in the womb with a sample that he gave you so he can verify your discovery. Doing this creates the mascot of this game, a sheep named Molly. That's cool. Now the company has more reason to come rescue you. Once you have enough materials to turn the bicycle wheel on, Jan realizes the engine is malfunctioning and it needs attention from a technician trained to work on bike tire space engines. You tell your employer this, and this is where things get weird.
I really need your help. I can't get out of here. I did everything according to the manual, but there's a malfunction I can't fix. I just don't know how.
Rapidium can save you.
Rapidium can save me? How exactly?
Initiate branching procedure.
Branching? What exactly will be branching?
You see, the quantum computer has a lot of other functions besides creating sheep. After flipping some levers on his end, your employer gives you permission to take part in the branching process. What could that be? This Chicken McNugget daisy chain are all the major events in Jan's life that shaped him into who he is. Up until now, we don't know much about Jan, but now his entire life is laid out before us. Moving out young to get away from your alcoholic dad and pursue college, leaving your sick mother behind in the process, being taken advantage of by someone posing as a father figure for you, and almost getting you pulled into a mafia-run auto shop, falling in and sadly out of love. Actually, the falling out of love part is the reason he's here. Jan's ex-wife works for the company in charge of this mission. At least, that's part of the reason he's here. You'll notice that there's a branching path when you left home to go to college. The quantum computer is able to simulate an alternative life path where you stood up to your dad and stayed home with your mother. This leads you on a path where you become a technician, just the kind you were looking for too. There are other differences in his life, like never falling victim to someone posing as a father figure for him, but also never falling in love with that girl in college. The only life event that you do share after the branching point is going on this mission. This alternative consciousness is then transferred into a clone of you that's grown in the womb room. Look at that. He dresses differently than you, has a different hairstyle than you, and even speaks in a completely different cadence than you.
You think you're Jan Dolsky as well? What kind of bullshit is this?
But that's the easy part to swallow. You have to explain to him that not only is his entire existence not real, but he was only created to save your ass, and he needs to, well, save your ass. Hello, product of ethically questionable science that I am participating in solely to save my ass. When you get over your existential dread, can you put the fries in the bag for me? He's not happy about the situation, no surprise there. He helps you, but tells you to leave him alone. After giving him some space, you start bonding with him over the childhood that you two share. But he's disappointed to hear that you abandoned your mom to pursue college. Despite your differences, you can work your way to his good side over time, but it'll depend on how you run your ship and treat your crew. That's right, it takes more than 2 people to operate this ship, and the technician feels weird being the only one, so let's go make more. There's a limit to how many alters you can create, and which alters you pick is going to affect your playthrough. Do you create alters that prioritize resource gathering, like the miner? Or do you create alters that help the crew's well-being, like the doctor? The game has a lot of player choices. How you treat your alters, which alters you choose to bring on board, and also how you go about getting to Earth, because they'll pay attention to how much you prioritize the mission over their needs. That's usually easy to deal with in a survival resource management game, right? Just say nice things to them and give them good food, right? Well, that's fine until a crew member asks, Jan, what's the company going to do with us when we get back to Earth? Or, Jan, why are we taking orders from you?
Cost you your personal life, though. Probably the best thing that ever happened to me. It's simple, Jan. I'm successful because I'm the version of you that doesn't get discouraged by failure. Imagine what I could achieve in your role here.
Do you side more with a company who is trying to make a huge scientific discovery, which saving you is only a byproduct of? Or do you side more with your alters, who you brought into this world? It's hard not to bond with them when they're so well written. Every one of Jan's alters feels like a totally different person, even though they're all voiced by the same voice actor, Alex Jordan, who does an amazing job. How they behave can be traced directly to their life events, and there's a great conversation to be had about nature versus nurture here. You get to choose what alters you bring onto your ship, but you never know exactly what you're getting into. Sure, they'll be able to do the job it says they could do, but their life events may bring up problems you have to deal with later. For example, the technician is distrustful of authority figures for obvious reasons. That means he doesn't like when you're trying to order him around too much. But he also doesn't like it when he thinks you're being too much of a company yes man.
I'm telling you, I had no choice. Maybe that time you didn't. Most of the time, you do. I asked you for a dormitory, you built it. I asked you for a place to have fun, and here we are. Are you telling me I should have ignored you? No, man. No, I'm glad you didn't. I'm just saying people are gonna want things from you. All the time. Just like that Maxwell guy and whoever else from Earth. You gotta learn how to say no sometimes. Because you'll never please everybody.
My favorite part of the game was getting closer to each of my alters. They feel like living, breathing people, and it's hard to BS them. Well, some of them. Solving their problems helps you develop Jan as a person at the same time as you help each other accept your mistakes as part of your growth. After all, getting to live with the people you could have been, for better or for worse, is going to give you some perspective on yourself. Or at the very least, a good time playing beer pong and watching movies. Just don't forget about the mission. Speaking of watching movies, you can find luggage throughout the game that belong to you or your deceased crew members. One of the best things that you'll find are movies. Not just because they give all of your alters a huge emotional boost at once, but all of these movies are really funny. I say movies, but they're really just skits, all done by Chris and Jack, a YouTube channel I had never heard of until playing this game.
Hey, what's the big idea?
Okay, listen, Ego. You're a small part of a collective existence wherein you yourself are completely insignificant.
Yeah, well, I know you are, but what am I?
Amazing.
Thanks, Doc!
Oh, and one last thing I meant to mention earlier. Geralt's voice actor, Doug Cockle, is in this game as well, and he gives an amazing performance as the leader of Project Dolly.
Expect things of me, but I'm no hero.
Heroism. Are you familiar with the works of Albert Camus?
Albert who?
Camus believed heroism was easy, accessible. For him, it was living a normal man's life that was a true challenge. You say you're not a hero? Well, maybe I don't need you to be one.
I honestly didn't even realize it was Geralt until my second playthrough because he does such a good job. All in all, I can safely recommend the alters to anyone looking for a unique experience. It's not just another resource management space exploration game. It's an original science fiction adventure told in a way that only video games can tell it. It's even better if you can have somebody who plays it at the same time as you, so you can compare your decisions with someone. It's $35 at full price and takes about 20 hours to complete, so it might be easy to convince a friend to take the plunge with you. My wife and I for a week were talking shop at the dinner table every night, like, what's the best way to run your bike tire base, or which alter is pissing you off the most right now, and why is it always the minor? If you end up playing the alters and enjoying it, be sure to give the game a positive review on Steam, or whatever platform you're playing it on. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.